Hey YouTube, hopefully y'all can hear me. I know the cab's a little loud. No, it's been a while since I did a video. Life's just been crazy with school, work, and church, and family, and friends, and all that stuff, so I kind of got behind. But I wanted to do this video real quick while I was driving back from a delivery from work. It's something I've been thinking about. I think I may even have mentioned it in one of my other videos, but it's about vehicles. So if you're into preparedness and the idea of a Minuteman and all that kind of stuff, something you need to consider along with having the right gear and training is having the ability to get where you need to be. So most people, in the preparedness community talk about like bugging in, right? Well, that only works if you can get from wherever you are when something happens back home. So that's the idea of like get home bags and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm not a proponent of leaving a vehicle if I don't have to. They are massive assets, and I would not want to just abandon it. So having a vehicle with the proper drivetrain and tires and all that kind of stuff and good repair is extremely advantageous. And the other part of that too, and just on the preparedness side, is what if you have to go get somebody else? Like, I have friends and family that if they're not at the house when things go bad, then I'm gonna have to go get them because I'm not gonna leave them out there on their own. I've made those commitments already. And so what y'all don't know is over the time I've been gone, my car died on me again. So instead of getting it fixed, I'm trying to get a new vehicle, and I was already looking at getting a truck. So now I'm trying to save up the money and buy that truck. Some of y'all may know that because I posted the GoFundMe to my YouTube to try to help raise support for that, for the ministry school that I'm doing. Which, if y'all want, that would be a great way to help me out, help the channel out. But yeah, so I'm looking at getting a pickup truck. I go back and forth between like pickup trucks and SUVs, but really I just want to get something that's four-wheel drive, that is reliable and capable. Because I'm not just looking for something like, oh yay, four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. No, I need it to have a robust system that's not going to fail on me, that I can actually use to get places if I need to, and do what I got to do. And on the other side of this, going into like the Minuteman side and being prepared to do what we need to do to protect our country and our families, all the gear doesn't matter, all the training doesn't matter if you can't get there. And there's two aspects to getting there, right? So there's the easy way, which would be a vehicle, which is kind of the point of this video, is to make sure you have a vehicle that's capable of getting you to wherever the fight is or whatever's going on, right? And the other part of it is, again, getting back to physical fitness and making sure that you can throw your ruck on and go if you had to. Now, as I'm sure many that were in the military can attest, if you don't have to put on a 50-pound rucksack and go, don't. And again, like, yes, there's different, not liabilities, there's different risks that come with using a vehicle in that situation, as far as like visibility and being able to be tracked and blah, 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 blah. Like, all kinds of different things that should be considered as to when you would use a vehicle and when not to use a vehicle and all that kind of stuff. But it's still something you need to have in your inventory, is some kind of vehicle that can move you and your gear and like at least one other person to wherever the fight is. Along those lines as well, something to consider, and one of the reasons I'm looking at a pickup truck for myself is I got a lot of people that are planning on coming back to my fallback location, it being the primary and all. And in one of the meetings that me and my guys were having, the point was brought up that it's not the best location and it's not an ideal spot, but it's the best we have. And one of the reasons it's the best we have is because it's where the bulk of the supplies are, because I've been doing this the longest, so I have the most resources. And so when I started looking into getting another vehicle before mine died, and now it's been accelerated, by mine dying, one of my considerations was, crap, what if something happens and this location's compromised? I mean, my 4-door sedan is not going to hold all the food and water and medical and ammunition and all this other stuff that I already have prepped in totes that can be loaded in pretty short order to leave. I don't have a vehicle that can take it. And not only that, I have a bunch of other people that would have to come with me that are already at the location, and there's not enough room for me to take them and the gear, even with the other vehicles in our fleet. And so that was part of the consideration, and what I was looking into in getting something 4-wheel drive was having good cargo space and good capacity for carrying people. I've been looking at excursions and stuff like that, and anybody can test that knows me, I always like 4-wheel drives, and pretty much any good 4-wheel drive I like and appreciate it for different reasons. So I also go back and forth between Cherokees, like the 1995 to 2001 Jeep Cherokee, or the Jeep Grand Cherokee from the same era, the WJs and the XJs and that kind of thing, right? And I had a Ford Explorer for a while, 2008 Ford Explorer, and I loved that thing. That thing was a beast, especially considering its independent suspension and all this kind of stuff. It performed really well. It had a very robust all-wheel drive system, or technically it was 4-wheel drive with smart 4-wheel drive, grabs the front axle thing. But yeah, so I've been looking at stuff like that, and what I've kind of settled on is I do need something in the F-150 class of pickup truck. What is this cop doing? He is driving very erratically. Anyways, yeah, so something in that kind of class of pickup truck, at least an extended cab, ideally, a crew cab or something like that. Well, that was weird. That was real weird. Somebody just got pulled over in front of me. But yeah, anyways, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. So I have the best hauling capabilities as far as supplies and gear, and I can hook up to a trailer if I need to, because eventually I do want to get a trailer. And I can still haul at least a couple extra people with me and all that kind of stuff. And again, that's why I also consider excursions and the converted work vans, like the Ford Econoline, the 4-wheel drive in them, because those are pretty robust as well, if you get it from one of the reputable sources like Quigley and I can't think of the other one right now, U-Joint. But yeah, so just something to consider and to think about as you're going through this process and building out your repertoire of capabilities for prepping, that you need to make sure that you have a vehicle that can handle what you need to handle. And for some people that might be like a dirt bike or an e-bike. That might be all they need, because their only objective is to get to somebody's place like mine, and they don't really have to take a lot of supplies with them because they already got stashed at their buddy's house or whatever. So just things to consider along those lines. But you do need to consider it and have a plan of how you're going to get places in the worst case scenario. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns. Put them down below, and I'll do my best to get back to y'all. Peace.